This video is dedicated to all devotees, whether new to the path of devotion or practicing for many years, who are battling the inner war with lust. Lust is not just a spiritual obstacle, but it's also a mental and emotional challenge that affects human behavior, as even modern science confirms. I know this not only from what I have read in scriptures, but from real struggles that every devotee faces in daily life. In this video, I am going to share practical, experience-based tips on overcoming lust and lessons shaped by the challenges we face in today's world, where distractions are stronger than ever. This is for every devotee who truly wants to progress in devotion and keep their heart pure for Krishna. We often hear about great devotees, famous monks, even respected spiritual leaders who have fallen from elevated position, not because they lacked knowledge, but because they could not conquer one thing, that is lust. You may wonder, why talk about sex? Isn't it uncomfortable? Isn't it too private? The truth is, this one topic has silently destroyed more spiritual lives than we care to admit. It is the single most stubborn chain keeping us bound to material existence. It shapes our thoughts, corrupts our character, affects our relationships, our service, and even our ability to taste real spiritual happiness. Modern civilization says sex is a basic human need. Society glorifies it as the highest form of pleasure, the key to happiness, and even a measure of success. But scriptures and real-life experience tell a different story. Sex may begin with sweetness, but as Bhagavad Gita warns, sex ends as bitter poison. It promises satisfaction, but leaves emptiness. It appears as love, but too often hides selfish desire. And here's the danger. Lust doesn't only bind the body, it blinds the intelligence, weakens determination, and can undo years of spiritual practice in moments. If we are serious about bhakti, we cannot ignore this subject. Just as a doctor must confront the root cause of disease, we must confront the root cause of repeated birth and death, and lust is right there at the center. Let us now look at the most common questions we have received from devotees regarding problems related to lust, sex, and marriage. The first question is, to overcome lust, many devotees in temples or monks residing in ashrams may successfully avoid physical sexual relationships, but the problem of masturbation still remains. Even senior devotees who have been practicing devotion for many years often face this issue. Of course, they may not say it openly, but Krishna knows everything. In this discussion, we will speak honestly about it. Be honest with yourself and, if possible, open your mind to your Siksha Guru or a trusted mentor. Someone who values your words, keeps them confidential, and genuinely helps elevate your devotion to Krishna. I understand that finding such a mentor is not always possible, and even if we do, we may still hesitate to speak openly about our struggles with sexual desires due to fear, lack of confidence, or personal insecurities. In that case, open your heart directly to Krishna and confide in him all your struggles related to lust. Let me say this to your heart. You are not alone. Krishna knows about your suffering, and he still loves you. So many souls, even those aspiring for devotion or stalwarts, may fall into lust. Especially in the modern age Kali Yuga, you are not disqualified because you did masturbation or you fell. You are only disqualified if you give up trying. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, even if one commits the most sinful acts, if he is determined to serve me, he is to be considered saintly. Yes, you may fail, but you talk to Krishna. That matters so much more than what happened a few hours ago. Even after praying to Lord Krishna, why did it happen again? Because lust is the first and greatest enemy, as Lord Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. Maybe you encountered a trigger, perhaps a movie scene, an emotional moment, or a visual poster or image on the roads, and your mind slipped back into its old grooves, the deep patterns of vasanas and samskaras from the past. Even great yogis struggled, not because they were weak, but because material energy is strong. However, devotion and Krishna are much stronger. With the help of Lord Krishna, you too can rise above, stronger than before. How to purify and rise again? Here's what you can do right now, not tomorrow. Don't be guilty. Try to surrender. Don't say, I'm dirty. Say, Krishna, I'm yours, save me. Cry if you need to. Speak to Krishna. He is listening. Offer your weakness to Narasimha. Say, my Lord, I have fallen again. I feel ashamed, but you are my only protector. Please destroy this demon of lust within me. Remember, Lord Narasimha did not come to judge Prahlada for weakness. He came to rip apart the demon that tried to destroy Prahlada's heart. Lust is that same demon. Ask Lord Narasimha to tear it out. Let's talk about practical facts and truths. Sometimes even senior devotees, those who use the internet regularly for preaching, may find themselves in danger. For example, while watching YouTube for news updates to prepare a class, an adult advertisement can suddenly pop up. And in that moment, one may fall again. That's why we must identify and guard against our triggers. Some common triggers include browsing the internet without filters and using smartphones late at night, and watching movies or shows alone, even in the temple or ashram, and keeping screens in private rooms rather than public areas, and looking directly into the eyes of the opposite gender, Mataji or Prabhu, and allowing the mind to wander, and serving closely with the opposite gender without necessity. One should even avoid of viewing mannequins or images of women dressed in an attractive way as recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not controlling the mouth and genitals, overeating, especially late at night, or consuming foods in the mode of passion and ignorance, too spicy, oily, heavy or stimulating, which fuel lust. For monks, it's best to avoid smartphones entirely unless strictly used for Krishna's service. For married men, the same discipline applies, and you must follow the example of Lord Rama, who lived the Eka Patni Vrata, vow of one wife, and he did not even look at another woman's shadow. This is practical. Control isn't just mental, it's environmental. Next time you feel temptation, so get up immediately and take a cold shower or at least wash your face. Chant loudly. Don't let the mind stay silent. Go for a walk while doing japa. Read a verse from the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Speak directly to Krishna. This is a test and you're watching me now. Or speak to a senior devotee you trust, as we discussed earlier. Remember, avoiding temptation is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of intelligence in the modern age, where triggers hide everywhere. Practical solutions for overcoming lust triggers. Use the internet with protection. Always use content filters or ad blockers to avoid unnecessary and harmful advertisements. For lecture preparation, use AI wisely. We recommend that monks or devotees use tools like ChatGPT or other AI resources for preparing lectures and researching topics rather than randomly browsing the internet. Prefer simple phones. Use keypad phones without internet or smart features to avoid digital distractions. If a smartphone is necessary for preaching, use it only in temple halls or public spaces, not in private rooms. Control diet and eating habits. Eat only grains, fruits, naturally sourced foods that have been offered to Krishna as prasadam. Avoid junk food, even if it is sold as Krishna prasadam in temples, as it may still agitate the senses. Do not overeat, especially at night, and avoid foods in the mode of passion and ignorance like too spicy, oily, fried, stale. Guard the eyes. Avoid looking directly into the eyes of the opposite gender, Mataji or Prabhu. If it happens unintentionally, immediately shift your gaze to the deity of Krishna or a spiritual image. Monks should never serve closely with women, and even married men should avoid unnecessary close service with other women. This protects both parties from subtle temptation. Stay physically and mentally engaged. Keep your time filled with devotional service, kirtan, japa, reading and temple seva, so the mind has no idle space to wander. Control both the mouth and the genitals. Discipline in eating directly influences discipline in sexual control, as both are driven by the same energy channel, ojas. Do not watch secular movies, social media reels, or other media that may contain sensual content, even in small amounts. Follow a fixed spiritual routine. Rise early in Brahma Muhurta, bathe, chant, and begin your day with scripture. Study to keep the mind in the mode of goodness. Let's see, the second question is, why doesn't Krishna remove our sexual desires instantly, despite our chanting and serving in the temple? Because Krishna is not interested in giving us a quick outer cleaning. He wants a complete transformation of the heart. He is not like a magician who waves away problems. He is a lover who wants you to choose him even in the middle of the struggle. If he removed lust instantly, you might never learn full surrender. You might feel clean but not truly connected. You might stop depending on him daily. As the Bhagavad Gita says, this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Krishna allows lust to remain just long enough for you to realize your helplessness and cry out to him with soul-burning intensity. Lust is not just physical, it's emotional and mental. Lust hides in loneliness and insecurity and craving for attention and need for affection and past life samskaras. You're not just seeking physical pleasure, you're seeking connection, worth and unconditional love. And this world tricks you into chasing those through the material body. Krishna's message is clear. Only I can love you the way your soul longs to be loved eternally. This is why Bhagavatam says that pure devotional service to Krishna satisfies the self completely. No other love can match it. Lust is like a poison snake. It dies slowly. Even if you chant sincerely, even if you cry for Krishna, it will not vanish in a single day. Why? Because Krishna wants you to be strong enough to reject lust even when it still knocks on the door. Bhagavad Gita instructs, from wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering nature, one must bring it back under the control of the self. That daily bringing back, that even after failure, builds the steel of devotion. Even Prabhupada said, lust will attack, don't be surprised. Just keep chanting and fight like a soldier. Even if you fall, rise again. Eventually you will win. Krishna will see you don't give up, and then he will personally lift you out. This is not about being sinless, it is about being fearless in surrender. Lust leaves as you surrender more. Krishna has already given the key in Bhagavad Gita. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. If we give only part of ourselves, Krishna will purify only to that extent. But as we increase our surrender by following his instructions more sincerely, avoiding triggers, deepening our chanting, and serving without expectation, then lust loses its grip naturally. Srimad Bhagavatam confirms this. By regularly hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, the dirty things in the heart are cleansed. It's not an overnight miracle. It's a steady, beautiful process. The more you surrender, the more Krishna removes what keeps you from him. We should always pray to Krishna, I may fall 100 times, I may be filthy inside, but I will never stop calling Krishna. Even in the filth, I will cry out, my Lord, please save me. And I know one day you will, because you always do. Next video, we will cover other questions regarding this topic on lust and marriage. Please share it with those who are struggling with lust. Thank you for watching.